So, Brendan, welcome. We're talking about digital forensics, and we know it's becoming increasingly important. From your perspective, why is that?
Well, it's exploded lately. We're all using multiple electronic devices every day, both for work and our personal lives. And the digital footprint that we leave behind now is incredible. And as forensic investigators, we use that to our advantage during investigations to perform analysis on that data for whatever the particular investigation may be. I think most people that are out there are aware that they're using electronic devices and there's data that's being stored elsewhere, and they scroll down the acceptance of terms of agreement to use these tools and products, and they just are unaware of the breadcrumbs that they leave behind while they're using these services and devices.
And I think people sometimes think they can delete those breadcrumbs. That's often not true, is it?
That's right. We have the capability of clawing back a lot of data. So especially with mobile phone devices, even with emails as well, the retention period that are on Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. Often these days, if it's deleted, it's not often deleted. If we can normally claw it back.
So that's interesting. What sort of cases are you seeing forensics used in now? So what organisations, how are they engaging you guys to do this sort of work?
Yeah, well, it's so broad. I mean, people, like I mentioned, are using it for personal and both with their employment. So it can be a wide range. So we do a lot of expert witness work in both civil and criminal matters. We assist with search warrants. We have a lot of director disputes and employee investigations. So it might be assisting out with HR for a range of different jobs internally with businesses. And then we've got the data breaches, where there's incident responses during an active compromise of a client's network. And then there's e-discovery reviews as well, which is often forgotten about in the forensic space. But that's essentially finding the smoking gun or that document that's relevant. So you're processing all the data from all the different mailboxes and ripped off different computers, and you do some keyword searches across it to find the document that they're after.
Yeah, you've saved us a few times, Brendan. From the Segment 1 perspective, we use you guys all the time. And I know you've got some really juicy stories, and you probably have to be a bit careful. But is there any that come to mind where you can sort of highlight where forensics has been really useful?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was, like I mentioned, we do a lot of search orders. So there was one particular job we attended. Usual circumstances, we arrived at about 7 a.m. in the morning. The respondent wasn't answering the door. So the independent lawyer did see some movement in the premises. So after many hours of stalling, he did appear at the front door and was served the orders. So search orders cost the applicant a lot of money to obtain, and one of the reasons they are obtained is to prevent the destruction or hiding of material that's relevant to the actual matter. So based on our experience with search orders over the years, that type of behaviour can typically indicate the respondent is having a moment of madness and making attempts to destroy evidence. So you can understand from their perspective that what's happening is it would be human nature for those emotions to overcome you in the moment. But once we obtained access to the premises and the respondent's devices, that intuition and experience, something didn't feel right. So checking the evidence for data destruction, identify the gigabytes of data were deleted, but prior to that time that we were actually given access to the premises. So we restored that data, which was central to the applicant's case, demonstrating a large scale of theft of intellectual property.
That takes a great deal of skill, doesn't it, to understand where someone thinks that they've removed and eradicated all of that evidence to be able to, and I know you guys do it all the time, but to be able to do that takes a significant level of skill from a forensic perspective.
Yeah, it takes time in the seat, and just being exposed to different circumstances, both in controlled and uncontrolled environments. With a search warrant you're normally attending, you could be hit with a range of different devices and different accounts that you may or may not have come across in the past. So having that experience, especially with phone data, sometimes what you see on the phone is not exactly what you'll get. There may be a portion of that data that's actually sitting in the cloud. So to have that knowledge and the lateral thinking at the time to say to whether it's the lawyer or the investigator, hey, there's data on this phone, we can extract it, but to get the balance of that data, we actually need to go to the cloud and iCloud to pull that data down, so you're getting a complete look of all the data this particular person has on their device.
Very good. So we're going to continue to talk over the next few weeks, Brendan. I know we're going to talk drill in into some more case studies in much greater detail. There's a video that you'll see a link to right now, which is probably also useful in this space. So make sure you click on that and have a look. But looking forward to drilling down into some more stuff over the next few weeks, Brendan. And thanks for that.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks, Sec 111. Cheers.
Thanks.